One more thing I'd like to say about Akuma, though, since we were talking about him in the first place. I think the biggest issue is a very good point mentioned by Spag is the down 3 thingy, where it shouldn't be plus 14, but also only plus 13. And I think the biggest issue that we've had for Akuma ever since the beginning, and I think everyone can agree here that we knew that from the start, is that his demon flip and his jump is just silly. In Street Fighter, you have tools to. In Street Fighter, you have tools. You have anti-airs to deal with that. In Tekken, this is such a fundamental lacking thing that some characters can barely play well against this character, while others can't do anything pretty much, and they just have to deal with it. Like Eddie, for example, Eddie can use his backdash. Eddie can't sidestep the demon flip mix-ups. There is a lot of characters that struggle. If you pick Noctis against Akuma now, Noctis becomes one of the best characters versus Akuma because with his huge sword, he somehow picks him up from the air. And like, this is something that Namco has been very lazy on in terms of balancing the character properly. I don't mind Akuma being a character in Tekken right now, but the way he feels is he just never at any single point, he never plays Tekken. He just plays Akuma. He doesn't play Tekken. And because he doesn't play a Tekken, because he always plays Akuma, no matter what situation you are in, no matter what the frames are, no matter how it looks, he still is in an advantageous situation. And if you don't have a proper anti-air, or if you don't have good movement to shut Akuma down, he's always just going to jump over you, hit you with a standing 4, and then jump into DP and then get a full combo. And that is the biggest problem that we've seen since the beginning. And even though Nee said that Akuma is potentially C tier, that was still a problem that everyone complained about ever since the beginning of Akuma. We all knew that this jumping thing that he has is just silly, straight up silly, and that a lot of characters can't do anything about it and can't deal with it.
And I think you're 100% right. Yeah, sorry if I just also add to that. He's 100% right in the demon flip. You know, I was speaking to Damascus. You guys know Damascus, you know, top Street Fighter commentator, Dragon Ball fighters. And I was talking to him about Akuma and how in those games of Street Fighter, you have anti-airs. You have clear options to beat jump. Now, they've given him these 2D mechanics in this game, but Namco hasn't given us, the Tekken players, a solid option to beat the demon flip. Now, Pakistanis have said that, you know, if you sidestep right and jab, it beats most options. And actually, it kind of does, but not all of them. And even a lot of people who think that jab beats them, you know, the jab beating demon flip, no, it doesn't, because the demon palm will counter hit you. But not only that, something that's even worse is that the dive kick will pause in the air, hit you, and then he gets a full launch from it. Yes. Now, imagine this. I've seen Mihawk versus, that was probably the most, if you guys want to go watch it, yeah? Mihawk versus Akuma. 2017 Demolition, it was the most heartbreaking set I've ever seen in my life. I don't want to bring that back up again, Young. I'm sorry, but you know, it just goes to show like how even from watching that set, I knew that no one was going to get used to this character until the end of Tekken 7, and people still haven't, right? The Pakistanis, they have so many of them that they, you know, Arslan and people can react to them and start to get a bit more used to them. But I'm sorry, like when you guess right on a 50-50, you've done while standing 2, which is a launcher, you guess right, and now you're in another mix-up. And how many times have I seen someone try to jab the demon flip from while standing 2 and then get hit with dive kick and die? It's like, mate, I guess correctly. Why am I dying here?
So often, yeah.
That's actually like that happens a lot. So it's like when I use Elisa for it, I always go for 4 because her 4 is a homing and it reaches kind of high and it reaches him. So I can usually use that, or I use my power crush because it's like an armor, but so it kind of protects me. It's like a little cushion. And I can activate it as he jumps, so it covers those options. But I think more characters need stuff like that because it covers a wide range. Both those moves do, and more people need stuff like that because jabs do not work consistently on that character to float. But I think more characters need like a fast homing to deal with, or something. You know what I'm saying? Like something to deal with. That up there,
you take an aerial character and put him, and you take a character from a jumping game and put them in a game where nobody has anti-air. You run into this problem, but I don't think the answer is to start adding anti-air moves to 50+ Tekken characters. The answer is, I think, to bring the one outlier Akuma more into line with everything else.
100%.
If he's going into demon flip without advantage, I think that jabs should consistently float him.
Yes.
But like the point you brought up,
He just simply shouldn't jump that high. He
no,
shouldn't
exactly.
jump that high.
Nothing really should go over highs, right?
there are two things I think you could do here. Either you could lower the hurt box of the jump so that a jab could consistently snipe him out, or previously we were talking about up forward 2, this kind of flanging move that all the characters have, which is kind of unused. Yeah. Why don't you just turn that into your bespoke anti-air? Like, they do a move, they punch the air that's specifically designed to beat a character like Geese, Akuma, Elisa, and that's an easy, really reliable option.
Yeah,
that could be something.
Elisa doesn't
the best option.
Hers doesn't even seem that high.
The best option is what Frame said. So what you do is basically this is what the meta becomes. What sending 2 is launch punishable on its own. So a lot of people don't launch it because when they do it, they're expecting the demon flip. Now when the demon flip does come, because the Akuma player wants to avoid getting launched with just while sending 2 raw, then he goes into demon flip, and you can then you get a jab float guaranteed.
You react and universally get the jab.
Yeah.
You could just take.
And there's a mix up now. Yeah. You get the float, and then yeah.
And then it's a mini combo, and you get 30 to 40 damage on him, and he has to be careful. I think that's a good solution. Yeah.
But like, they can nerf the Den 3, but another big problem is his jabs giving a full fireball combo and hit. And it's very easy to confirm as well. Den 1, 2, or jab confirm, and then you get a full combo off it. And it's really scary to overextend on Akuma or mistime your offense against him, because if you do, you're at the wall, you're suddenly in a killing mix up it suddenly, just off a 10 framer, not even as a punish, just as a counter hit confirm. And
it's so scary.
It's too scary, yeah.